Hello, darlings. It's me again. I hope you're all okay. We've got very cold, wet weather with that icy touch. And I'm just taking this opportunity, no readings tonight, to catch up from my last video last week. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And a lot has been happening after these two eclipses. So I thought best to just try and make this as short as possible. So this is the fire of the Christmas tree that happened yesterday. I didn't know about that. I was just noticing that the French word for the Christmas tree is sapin. And sapin is an anagram for Spain. The rain in Spain stays mainly on the plain, Europe. And I was looking for pictures of the human nervous system, the Christmas tree. We all know that the human body is that Christmas tree. And pictures of the fire popped up. So that's a whole other story. And we're going to come to this chart and have a look at that fire. But we're going to begin just with where I was from the last video. So the day after the last video, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. We had on the newspapers, Le Bureau de Poste, so post office, Mercury, de la patte d'oie. So I was talking to you in that last video all about Mother Goose, the mongoose. The mother is Capricorn, North America, and this is a play, oie in French, you say patte d'oie. It's the foot of the goose. So there must be in our region a post office in a village called the Foot of the Goose. So that is a play just like the Eiffel Tower, the Arc de Triomphe in Paris with its 12 avenues. We had the eye of the Medusa closed with that artwork, very much like Bridget Jones' Leaky Blue Soup. They put some metal construction over the eye, and here they're telling us that the eye is now closed until 2022, Venus flycatch 22, Tav, Aleph Tav, V22. So what did I write here? Eye, goose, and the eye, the eye. We are going through the eye. Medusa octopusy eye opens and shuts when you can breathe through. Last leg, aigle, coin, 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 quake, quack, quack, can, tin, tin, corn hut, 90-degree angle. So the fire of the tree was at 12:15, they say, which is that 90-degree angle, and it represents the MC to the DC 12:15. So going below 90 and also pointing to the tribe of Dan. We've got the sun in Scorpio at the moment. That is the true rising of the aigle, the egg, A-I-G, egg. My village is the 5-pointed star, and it's pronounced A-I-G. And we say N, North Polaris. I've got a lot, actually, we've got a lot to cover today. A lot of stuff has popped up in front of me because, as you know, I do not go looking for anything. Just like that Christmas tree, I just popped on it today. So, 90-degree angle, moon goose, mongoose goes for Europe, Scorpio Milky Way, snake tail sting, conjunct south node, tail in Scorpio, jugular to kill old Mother Hubbard, to kill Bill. So we had the fire in New York. The nanny goat, Capricorn, as Jude Pete Paul prepares to leave Capricorn. Closed post office, so postman Pat, Mercury the messenger, blinded by the sun, solar black moon eclipse on the 4th of the 12th. So this was still before on the 2nd. 4th of the 12th, conjunct Mercury on the heart of Scorpio Antares. 2022, it was on page 22 as well. 22, 22, 4 times 4-wheel drive ahead. All for one, one for all. Find your last V for victory. Head, tail, Ed. Venus flytrap, retrograde in MC Orion, head of snake in Taurus. The Joker's old MC Ron, Macron had a Donald farm. They tell through the news, north, east, west, south. Grapevine. Okay, so I was saying Popeye time, which is very much what's happening now. Jupiter is the Empire, Pete, Europe, and Paul, Asia. They flip us to the Pygmalion, Maypole, Lion. Gangster guru, Polo with his virgin girl, BJ, JB, Bridget Jones, and James Bond, Jack and Jill, Gigi, Lolita. Gigi is a famous French film, and if you look at the advertising for that, you don't see the Gigi, you see 2 9s, like 99 red balloons. They draw that G like a 9. Lolita, LA, Marianne, the Me Too bully, or the wise mature womb. The woman in red is not the true old Mother Hubbard. The deadly mother is the passage back to Capricorn, the nanny goat, to find her fishtail. Again, spirit. So that's what I was saying in my last video. Pluto spent 56 years during the Victorian period in CETUS, under the iceberg, going through Pisces, that's underneath, below in CETUS, the Loch Ness moon star. And that's why they were so restrained. Victorian era was known for that stiff, very prude, very unsexual, so that it had more of an impact, as Pluto has now come all the way around and is just about to leave Sagittarius from Pisces, both the home, Jude Pete Pisces, Jude Paul Sagittarius, so that there is more of this lash that they're having to kill North America, basically to make it barren, life on Mars. Back to Capricorn, the nanny goat, to find her fishtail again, spirit. So that goat is half fish, and you know she is ruthless if she doesn't find that mermaid again. If you've got to get through the 12th door passage to correctly come into Capricorn. Which eye do you choose? The eye of the tiger. So tiger, tiger burning bright, flesh, or the eye of the old wise nanny goat, spirit, that octopus, octopussy passage. The V, constellation of Pisces, or the V for vendetta, revenge, Sagittarius, Vega. The eye of the tiger or her eye. So I've got some pictures here. So you've got Joanna Lumley, JL Cuts. You've got the Sagittarius, and you've got the closed umbrella and the bowler bowels, bowl hat, the closed, the opening, closing, and the hunter. So there's that deadly mother again. I did that in the last video. And there's Popeye, Olive, with the Pisces and the Sagittarius gangster. This is what they want to bring in, these hairy Harrys. And there is the High Priestess. You've got to get through the Pluto and Virgo generation. You're now getting ready. Pluto's going into Capricorn. It's that image again of Nanny, covered that last week. So very much Big Brother, and Jupiter ascending in Asia with his Virgo girl, the bee. That's why she, in that film, she's with the bees. She's not the true bee holder. And it's that Vesica Pisces passage, the eye that we're going through. That's Neil Kline's Underworld book that I've covered in all my old videos. There's Macron had a farm. That's the north-south node. When you merge the tail and the head of the snake, you get the passage through the sun and the moon's path, merge the electron, the proton, and the neutron. It's just liquid, solid, gas. It's just that sulfur, salt, and mercury. So that Medusa, that's the Satan, and then there's the hidden hand. You merge them both. You merge the two corners, the coin coin, it's the duck in French, coin coin is quack quack. You find the hidden hand. It's a mother goose again, that's the post office again. 3 crosses, so there's Pete and Paul rising the Virgin Virgo. But so, you know, this is not really what we want. It's the same thing. That's Bridget Jones between the BGJB pillars. This is what they want to do. It should be rising to come to Capricorn, to rise that high cardinal Earth and Air Aquarius. So there's that jellyfish. Can you get through? Narnia, the eye. So that is quite funny. You can read that. That's the Mary Poppins scaring us of that high cardinal Capricorn. The eye. There is the virgins, the Sagittarius man with the virgin. And this is what they want, to create that one race, one voice. Jack and Jill merged as one, Mercury, Gemini and Virgo. Here is Saint Martin, Jupiter and Mars, the closing of the horseshoe and taking over the fertility, the last shoe. Martin's garden, that is the descending of the whale's tail, which makes their fake rising phoenix, which the phoenix is Altair in Sagittarius. Martin's underworld, Porto below, 10 Downing Street. So the queen bee, it's the fleur de lis. There's always a hidden leg. You've got to find that 4th leg to not get closed in the beehive. And the closing of the Chi Rho Pisces is, you know, it's the last passage is Pisces to get upright, but this is their Jupiterian empire image of their closed wheels still stuck in that skull and bone. So there is the VC from coronavirus to VC, and that Pascal that wants to hold himself always in the middle. So we don't want to be flipped from CV322 to VC223. We want to get upright in the middle. There is the true Vesica Pisces passage, the Mona Lisa, Doctor Who, again the older man, the young girl, Sagittarius the guru, and the little Virgo girl. There's the peg with an extra leg, Jake, Scotland, and then they put this lion in the middle. That is the same thing as Ophiuchus, covering the eye, covering the passage. This is the passage we should be going through. Mind the jab, pass the gap. It's my old flyer again, and you've got to get through the true passage of Pisces. So this very scary chalk people, you know, the black and white Virgo Pisces being taken into this red and yellow and green, and the Joker. There's the Joker showing us that line, showing us the new Vega flip-flop with the little Alice, green man, Joker, reds, yellow, America, Asia, on top of the black and white. So there's Rocky, Eye of the Tiger, and he showed up on a picture that somebody posted from Instagram, and you had a picture of him, and behind there was the hand of Princess Diana, showing the hidden hand, showing the monster being risen. Somebody showed that it was the same hand as Princess Diana. It was exactly the same hand. So that hidden hand, and it's 90-degree angles, the 14 pieces of Osiris and Rachel Blackmore, back to black. So that Eye of the Tiger, that was a horrible movie, exactly what's happening. She is the ocean. It's all about her. It's that whale's tail going down. They use it as the phoenix rising. She, to scare you always. So this is my region, I told you last time. So they've closed the post office. They've closed the messenger. Pat doigt. Okay. That is that roll dial. It's the Russian roulette. It's the, what's it called? The casino, the Vegas, Las Vegas, the Vegas nerve, Mercury, the post office being shut down. It's your voice. The eye, the bullseye, and back to that. Okay, so people were posting stuff about Paddington Bear. So this is old Paddy, old Nack, Paddy Wack, and the green man, the shamrock, is the fleur de lis. If ever I want a laugh, I've covered a lot of all this on my astrology blog, on my site of astrology. There's many, many posts, and Peter Sellers. So the Sellers is down below to sell her. And you will see that old Mr. Higgins, my fair lady, Dr. Doolittle, Eliza Doolittle, you will see that Mr. Higgins is Peter Sellers. It really makes me laugh to watch that. So Paddington Bear was born on the 25th of December. So this is MC Orion. This is the Joker. And the bear is, of course, the North Polaris that goes round and round the garden. The picnic. Today on the front of the French newspapers, they said we are at the peak. So in French, peak, piqûre. A pic cure is another word for an injection. So they said today we were at the peak of the mountain and we are that five-pointed star, and they had the top, the Christmas tree burn. So as I say, we're really at the peak tonight. So he also represents lost bears, represent orphan children, which is what the gangsters want, our children. I note with interest the continuing ascendancy to ascend bullshit of Paddington Bear. In book, TV and film, at Paddington Station itself, there is a stall selling Paddington Bear plethora, and the meeting point on the station concourse is a metalled sculpture of the bear. So there is a big sculpture of Paddington Bear. I cannot help thinking that I am in some ways Paddington Bear, which is, yeah, although I was not a fondling like Paddington, I went to an orphanage as a child. Paddington Bear is a composite of Second World War children who were sent into evacuation with luggage labels around their necks. So this is very much what they're waiting for, our children. Also, it echoes the cock-up described in Oscar Wilde's The Importance of Being Earnest, wherein a baby is left in the parcel office at Victoria Station. And like Paddington Bear being given the name based on where he was found, Ernest Worthing gets his name because he was discovered at Victoria Station in the parcels bound for that seaside town. So you need the seaside town. She sells seashells on the seashore. Horse is just an anagram for shore. And that V for victory is found at Pisces by the seaside. Paddington Station was profoundly important to me as a child, and then later, what's he going to say? Do we need to read that? So 5 facts about Paddington Bear. He's born on that MC. He is the Paddy Joker. This is a post of Aska. Yup, in 9 years, what I was explaining in all my videos and in last video, in 9 years at the moment, the head of the Milky Way is in Taurus. They're bringing up Diana the Huntress in the place of an Orion, bringing up Orion into that gap between Sagittarius and Scorpio, killing Europe, Isis, Scorpio, and bringing in the hunter, the deer hunter. So in 9 years, we have the true closing of the equinox and the equinox and the solstice merges as one. That analemma, that 8, that meter that they show us, the passage of Jesus Christ, the AC/DC passage. They rise the gap jab joker prematurely. 2030 is the correct 23 DNA strands closing. Milky Way, baby, horseshoe, shoe, soul, fake sun king now when Milky Way Bay, equinox solstice becomes one in 9 years and closes on the new tropics of Scorpio, Taurus, feminine axis. So yeah, you know, they've kept it always as the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, when we're now leaving the Tropic of the Sagittarius Gemini, and we're going on to the feminine again, Scorpio, Taurus, and that closes in 9 years. We're still jumping just between Orion and Taurus, so between Gemini and Taurus. This is where they want to put the peg in the leg, between Sagittarius and Scorpio, but we should finally close in 9 years. And, you know, it could be completely in 2040, but that Milky Way closing is in 9 years. So you see the summer solstice, that sun is on the wand of Merlin, like I showed you Pluto was for the sinking of the Titanic. Pluto was right on Lion, and the southern hemisphere is now going to be Scorpio upside down. The winter solstice. And so this is showing you that 9 years at the current moment, Earth's alignment with the sun tells us that the equinox are Pisces and Sagittarius and not Aries and Libra. The tropical summer north is Gemini and the south Sagittarius, the mutable cross. In 9 years, so Lars has put what I've been explaining, in 9 years the solstices will shift to Taurus and Scorpio on the fixed cross. This will bring in the rise of the Ice Queen in Scorpio and the newborn Sun King out of Sagittarius before humanity reaches the image of the fixed man in Aquarius with the brave heart of Leo. So that's Richard Lionheart, the last leg, Richard I. You've got to get through the circle, the circuit, the cercueil, the coffin. The polar wandering from Polaris to Vega will bring in this energy. So this is what I've discovered. We're going to Vega, and I will be showing you something in a moment incredible that we've just seen. So we're going from the North Polaris to Vega, which was before, and when we should be going up the middle, up here. So this is here, this is the Bay of Marseille, the big M, and the football is called Olympic Marseille, This is the true central line through Africa. Okay. So you can go to Lars's site, Alchemiski Spiritual Chakra. Well, maybe I'll open it. I don't want to lose my page. So here is the eye. And that eye, as we've covered, is the PHHP, the Harry Potter. You've got 7 below, 7 above, and the perfect Vesica Pisces lens. So I put here the correct eye is the PHHP balance. pH is a measurement of how acidic or alkaline a substance is. The scale runs from 0 to 14, 1 for all, and all whole for 1. 14 pieces of Osiris must be merged again to find your 415V head, last leg, egg, body member. Remember, 1111 day. 4 times 4 gives the 8 gate, 5 petaled flower gateway. Medusa opens and shuts. Akadabel 07. A pH of less than 7 is considered acidic, and a pH of more alkaline, Aka HP below the belt and pH above the belt. Perfect harmony Harmony is harmon. So it's also harm, to harm on ye. So, you know, if you've got to have both, is found in the Vesica V for Pisces passage, 12th house, not V for Vendetta, 9th house. Harry Potter, Holland Park. You need the correct acid alkaline mid-Li, or you are swallowed by the eye of the octopussy into Saint-Martin de Tours whirlpool, Mars, Jupiter, under the sun-moon diaphragm. In chemistry, pH are measured to have lower pH values than basic or alkaline solutions. The pH scale is logarithmic and inversely indicates the concentration of hydrogen ions. We're going into a new aeon in the solution. The Vesica Pisces is a type of lens, a mathematical shape formed by the intersection of two discs with the same radius, intersecting in such a way that the center of each disc lies on the perimeter of the other. Lars very kindly made a little statement for me, which I appreciate very much, because for the past 2 years since I've known Lars, an enormous amount of cooperation has formed between us, and my thinking has been put into charts, and I never asked for any credit from him, and I have put a lot of Lars forward, so he very kindly wrote that for me, which you can read. So then we come to the day of the black moon solar eclipse. So a lot of us actually woke up. I woke up a good hour just before. I woke up, had all my account taken down, and it actually said to me that some Bosnian person here had hacked my account, and I just managed to get it open again before the eclipse, which I think was quite symbolic. So then the absolutely enormous news on the day of the solar eclipse in France is, you know, I've noticed a lot of English people don't even know who he is, but I've been in France my whole life. This is the man that brought in permaculture. He is a French intellectual, and he is the man of the earth, and he's very much a socialist. He's Algerian, and his name is Pierre Peter, and his surname is Rabbi. So that's Ra, that's Mars, that's Jupiter and Mars, that's Martin, the world of the underworld. He dies at 83 years old. That's 11. This is taking the place of Aquarius, the 11th house, to bring in now Paul. And this is also their way of bringing up that center line that we should be on, Africa, out of Africa. We've got all the Moors that are going to be rising in France. And permaculture is great, but, you know, where are the forests? We've got no forest left. We're going to be going into the whole Venus project, which I've shown you before. And the Venus project is, you know, spaceship living, smart city, and greenery everywhere, but no forest left, no oxygen, no true forest. And this is, you know, we should be foraging, we should be, we can get everything we need from the forest. So, you know, all the forests will be cut down. So Rabbi, abracadabra, you know, it's a play on Arabia as well. So this is very, 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 very symbolic. I can't tell you. You can go and look up and read about him, but he is a very, very loved man in France. And, you know, for him, yeah. And so, yeah, of course, this is Rising the Green Man. He is the green fingers. And so, you know, this was, again, the film Being There with Peter Sellers. This is the gardener. So that film is really important because he's a complete joker. All he was a gardener, and he makes it to the president of America. So this is exactly what's happening. The gardener, the joker, is rising to take the place of the MC when it should be in 9 years Scorpio. So there you see the Venus project, the more people I'm writing about, and that is a little clip of Mr. Higgins at the 74th session. So that again is 11, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 again. That is Peter Sellers, the gardener, and this man is the gardener. This is the gardener. We're going into the earthly pleasures of Neil Kline's underworld. There he is, the stag man, the solar stag man, holding the DNA. St. Martin becomes the solar, it's the moon goddess, the deer, and he's taking as the stag. In Bambi, the mother's killed and the father takes over. So smart cities. And again, the sapin, the rain in Spain. So I don't really get into all this, these lookalikes, but it looks like this person is saying that these two people are the same people, the King of Spain, but for me it's just Peter Sellers playing all these roles. Mr. Higgins, and then I was showing some video from 2 years ago, something from my blog. Here you have to go to my Alchemy Accordance, and this very big article I wrote about Odin being risen, also in my Alchemy Accordance. So you can read that. Oh, that's somebody who's posted but that's, you can read what I put there. It's just the green man, the gardener being risen. And then this came out. So NASA just detected a parallel universe where time runs backwards after an experiment in Antarctica. So again, telling us what's going on. Without opening this, NASA, North America, South America becomes life on Mars, barren. The true Twin Peaks is replaced by Paris, pair of L's, parallels, two worlds will blossom. We are thrown back in time, regressed, fertility. The green man now owns her womb. The A lie ends, the lie, the N. Mars, Tintin, Jude Pete, Paul, Jupiter run the underworld of Neil Kline's cherry orchard. The Martians have moved in, jungles destroyed, natural forests cut down and replaced by permaculture. Vegans. No animal meat means Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Cannibals, Odyssey 2001, 2021. Planet of the Hairy Harrys on all fours is the new Polaris, and it's a whirl of black-eyed peas, pod children, grown as monkey fuel. Pierre-Paul Jack runs MC Orion, Jack and the Beanstalk. Solstice now. In France, you say Pierre-Paul Jacques. So we've got, you know, the two Jupiters and rising there. Dauphin, Sun King, Jack, their fake new middle line. So here again, BB, Catch 22, the end of this, the Brigitte Bardot, she's got a big association in France called 30 Million of Friends. It's an animal to save animals. So that is the cycle of Saturn, 29.5 years, 30 million. And it says here, Brigitte Bardot comes to help Josephine Baker. So Josephine Baker, these are the gangsters. This is Chicago. This is the blues. JB, again, just, you know, Bridget Jones, James Bond, Jacqueline and Boaz. So it's the flip-flop. BB 22 comes to help Josephine Baker. So Jojo, Jude. And it says here the 4th of June. So the 4th of June is 46, 1964, when I'm 64. So we've got 46 chromosomes, 23 pairs of DNA, 46 chromosomes. This is always a play on the Microsoft 32 megabytes, 64 megabytes splits. And that's all there too. Yeah, they're going to bring up the Spanish boy in France as the new president. He's got little black eyes. He's called Juan Branco JB. I've always said that. So Blue Eyes is over. So then, wowee, what do we have? Odyssey 2001 becomes Odyssey 2021. On the front newspapers, we have got just after, the day after the eclipse, going back to the moon. So Planet of the Apes reset. Go and watch Lavette's video. You know, I've written about this for years. Planet of the Apes, Odyssey 2001, Odyssey 2021. But Lavette explains on her Brighton channel, 11 Lavette 11, you know, what is going on with this jibbity jab. Planet of the Apes reset. The moon is the white man's arsehole. Pisces feet. The age of water. Moon goddess. Pisces grace becomes the gas. The bitch. The beach becomes the bitch. 2025, only 17%. Lars has covered that in our old videos we did together 6 months ago, of white people will be left. That is all this is telling us. Solomon 101, BJJB flip-flop passage through Boaz and Jacqueline. Jacqueline Boaz, Diana the moon goddess, representative of the death of the 1968 Rosemary babies. So Odyssey 2001, got the big apes, you got the egg, the baby, you remember. So this was on the front papers, 2025. So there is an official report that in 2025 there'll only be 17% of white people left. And this basically means her. They've got her. She's completely no more sensitive, feminine Diana, the moon goddess, women, because all the Commonwealth countries have been taken over, and you know, it's nothing to do with going to the moon. It's Odyssey 2021. So again, Josephine Baker in the newspapers that day, in her World War II hats. So that's all about the moon. Look at all that. Goodness gracious. The hidden hands. The Joker. There's that passage, that famous image in Odyssey 2001. This is the 101 passage. I've been speaking about that for years. There is everything that Lavette is saying in her last video. This is the new man being born. Rosemary baby generation. This is the new babies being born. Cruella de Vil, Rosemary's baby, exactly the same pushchair as in the film. And I've covered a lot of this. This is the Jungle Book. Pakistan is the Green Man. Saudi Arabia, you know, this is the Eye of the Tiger, Sagittarius. There's that Mars. That's the day that my dog was sacrificed. Easter Day 2019. Mars was on Aldebaran. And he was again this year. So 2021. He was again this year. That is The Pigs, the album of Pink Floyd. It's just the upside down man, dead dogs. That is the film Catch 22. This is the life where we're going, the world we're going, in the framed under the diaphragm of the JFK cut. So all over Facebook, I don't know who these people are. They're all talking about George, John Kennedy Jr. He had his magazine George saying he's coming back as a savior or something. When George is the dragon slayer, it is Saint Martin, it is the killer of the female Milky Way, which is what they want. They want to bring in the man. We are surrounded by women haters, and this is what I live daily. Hannibal, Silence of the Lambs. There's that meter image. See, they put a COVID thing up here, and I haven't even mentioned COVID anywhere. So, you know, I've always said this. Nelly the elephant, the pair that rents, is over. They want our children. I've written about that. Well, there's Asia. Black swan, white swan, and I mean, this, I can't even look. It's just so scary. Look at them. So here comes the hidden hands. Joker, 5V MO'sCow. There's George. And this is the Hairy Harrys. Bigfoot, punished and judged by God, the most high holy one of heaven, became a wild and hairy man with body hair and claws. Ancient Babylonian king. So the story of water, gone. And then we've got the supreme beings coming up, the fifth element, and your multipass. When she holds the key. There's the white deer that was killed in Boot Street as Mars was on Spiker underneath the star Boots this October. So you had America, Asia coming in, the deer hunters, Russian roulette, Romulus and Remus, and this is what they're rising. The deer hunter is Taurus, and they're rising they're killing Scorpio now. We had the eclipse in Scorpio, right in the sign of Ophiuchus. There's the diaphragm jellyfish, silence of the lambs, the voice, Diana, the black and white, going back to black, Paris Olympics, the Who, the bullseye, sinking of the Titanic, and we're back to the beginning. So then what do I see? I didn't even open this, but it says deer may be reservoir for SARS, COVID, blah, 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 Penn State University. So this is Le Pen, the Pen de Mort, the name of the candidates in France. We've got Marine Le Pen, we've got Zemmour, I've said before, the Pen d'amour of love or death. And what are we targeting? The deers. So killing Taurus to bring up this face Joker, and all vulnerable, anybody that carries this moon goddess energy is not wanted. So you can read, I'm just going over everything again. You know, it really is all happening. So something I wrote 3 years ago, and that was just as the the gilets jaunes were being brought in. And I put here 3 years ago, before Uranus hit Aries and the gilets jaunes began, Akut, JG, GJ, Jour J, D-Day, 4 times wheel drive ahead. All in preparation for gilets jaunes represent LOLO, submarine, Yoko Ono, the canard, can, flip-flop, the last corner before the corn wall, G7, X marks the spot where we are now. The gilets jaunes covered all the roundabouts in France because Venus represents circles, circuits, and what are we about to have? The Venus retrograde. We had one in Taurus, the deer, for the first clamp down, and we're about to have another one in Sagittarius. The bottom of the deep blue CCC, circles, circuits, whirlpool, Portobello, Satan, Downing Street. The last time Uranus was in Aries was World War II. Everything that happens below is an orchestra of what is happening above. And Pluto will enter Capricorn for the 2024 Paris Olympics, as it did 244 years ago in 1776 for the American Revolution. France will blast the second revolver solution doors through that will bring in the new world and the end of an aeon, the last coin, corner, quake quack, Donald Duck, old Mac Ron, MC Orion, had a farm. Freedom is a higher state of mind. We are in a video game, and only fear of rising above the JFK, jellyfish, Medusa, diaphragms. It's all this Kennedy, John Kennedy. That's why we've got these people posting George as some hero all over, because, you know, you got to be able to identify they're just talking about the Dorian Gray, Orion, it's the diaphragm. It's our UN, United Nations, breathing, ability to breathe. Dorian Grey Goose. I've seen we've got Grey Goose in France. They've got a new vodka called Grey Goose, so that's merging the black and white. MO'sCow frozen vodka can stop you having a heart heavier than your feather. They cut L's. L is spelled A-I like garlic. In French, a wing is L, A-I-L, yes, wings, dub L07, don't they? Absolutely incredible. I went to go and watch La Vie est Belle, and there was a scene in the film, so I make sure they don't cut me off, but he had been a friend of his before he was put in the concentration camp, and he says, I need to talk to you urgently. So they create a situation where he can talk to the German officer, and there we have the four corners, we have the VC, the two directions of the whirlwind, Ezekiel, wheels within wheels, and he takes him to the back of the room. And he says to him a whole riddle about the canton. The canton is the duck of my region. And he says, can you solve this riddle? And he just thinks he's going mad. And I wouldn't have understood it if I watched the film. Anybody watching the film would just think he's going mad, because this is at the end of the film before the Americans come to save. And in fact, he is very, very afraid. He's saying the ducks are coming. The coin, the corner. So he is. I don't want to play it because they use any excuse. But if you can go and find that scene, he's just talking about the duck, the coin. He says to him, what is yellow and fluffy and waddles, and it makes the noise coin, and he just thinks he's going mad. And I suppose that's what people think when they see all my posts, but it's all about the French. They do it with their hands. They go coin. It's the corner. And this fire of the Christmas tree was at 12:15. It's the last corner. It's the last 90-degree angle, which they are throwing us into the underworld. 15 is, you need the dub L, you need the two wings to make that middle gap, to get through the gap. So I also noticed this, if you go and see, it's exactly 333, so that's the bottom of the deep blue C. You've got Sophia representing when we lost the wisdom, Libra, Scorpio, Philosophia, Sophia, Lucifer, Libra. You need Scorpio to merge as well, and that is here. So this clip is very funny when he wins. So it was in 1999. You've got the 999 clip. Those who can touch the bottom of the deep blue CCC and keep afloat, date 99, act of 490-degree angles, 1111, Sophia, Venus, Libra, Omega, Italy, the last leg, Italy's 26 nomination, COP26, 8, 2 and 6 is 8 meter, is actually in 2030, and it was the 10th Academy Awards, say 10, MC Orion the Joker, is the next 9 years. Only the fool on the hill, he's the complete fool, can see through and still keep the joy within alive. Only the fool makes the last leg through. The rain, the hail, Heil, something he talks about, the rain in his speech. So hail, he talks about the hail, Heil, HLIL, wing storm. Life is beautiful for those who walk the seashore. Horseshoe, last V for victory, is the 12th door, to be the 13BB holder of the 360-degree four-wheel drive ahead. So in the clip where he translates for his son what the German guy is saying in the prison camp, if you notice behind him, the door is left ajar. They leave the gap. They leave a gap. It's a very, very clever film if you can see through They're showing you that there's always the gap. There's the gap. And to keep that joy and to keep that love. So that was the Rocky Sylvester Stallone clip. But I have blocked a lot of people recently. So I shared, but then I realized that these people are pushing for George. And I just want to keep the people on my Facebook who are really genuine and not bringing us into this Joker world. So it was princesses, Princess Diana is the Medusa, she's the monster, she's the moon goddess. And in this picture you saw Rocky on the Sylvester Stallone on the aeroplane, and behind there was somebody reading a book, and you saw just one hand holding the book and one hand up, and we saw that it was the very same hand. It was Diana's hand. They didn't notice that. I noticed that. So then on the 7th of December, 7/12, we get the Italian Margherita. 7/12, there are 12 seasons, 12 parts to the wheel. The wheel's going back to 8. Pizza Pie Factory in 7 days, chakras, 007, last leg, slice, angle. Italian Mafia to cut up into pieces, a whole Mars, Marge, her Ita, Margarita. It was in the Hindu time. So Marge is another word for Mary Magdalene, Margaret. Ita, Margarita, it was in the Hindu times, denoting a pizza top with an... Right, so that's the Google Doodly. They really are about to rise in France. The biggest clip, the biggest music clip, biggest selling single ever in France was the Tribe of Dana. So we really are at that Tribe of Dan, and they want to rise the, they want to bring up revolution. So this was the 7/12. Moon in Sagittarius conjunct Venus and Pluto. Venus goes retro 40 days and nights. I'm not sure if it's exactly 40 days and nights. We'll go and have a look after. On the 12th of the 12th, Mars, ruler of Scorpio, Aries, in Libra in full. Mars enters domicile Scorpio the 16th. 12th, V for Vendetta is not V for Victory. Uranus still in Aries retro. Sun in Scorpio conjunct Ketu, tail of Milky Way snake. Mercury in Scorpio. Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius, enters Aquarius the 15th of the 12th. Venus rules Taurus and Libra, where head of snake Rahu currently is. So to rise, MC Orion, the deer hunter, Joker, the Tribe of Dan, DNA. Saturn in Capricorn, domicile. Jude, Pete, Paul, the Empire strikes back to get her. Isis, Scorpio, is the true Aigle. Last 7 angle. You are the eagle that carries the wisdom. Jellyfish, again, or consumed by your own snake. Just talking about a very good book here. All Liz Green's books are really good, and I have found all my old astrology books and really enjoying this book, Saturn, A New Look, and Old Devil. But she's so clever, Liz Green. Really good books. If you want to get a book, that's a great book. So somebody posted these pictures, and I asked the person, he said they were in Russia, and I said, where is it in Russia? And he said it was in Tyros. So if we open Tyros, Tyros map, and you wait till you see this. So this is exactly... We've got Tyros in France, where I am. So where's Tyros? Here, Tyros. So right on that Pyrenees, right on the Pic de Midi, right on that line. We've got a Tyros here, and then we've got the Tyros in Moscow. So Vega, right in the middle of Moscow. So that is the two flips from France to from Polaris, the Pyrenees, the Pic de Midi, to Vega. And Tyros, so Tyros, Pyrenees, North Polaris, and Tyros, Vega, MO'sCow, teddy bear goes round and round the garden, one dial here and one crocodile there. Tyros is a meteorological satellite. Tyros stands for Television Infrared Observation Satellite. Launched in April 1960, was the world's first weather satellite. Tyros image large swaths of the Earth's surface, allowing forecasters and scientists to see directly for the first time the large-scale features of our planet's weather systems. Operating for 3 months, the satellite transmitted thousands of images of cloud patterns and other phenomena to ground stations. So this was the, this is very much what's going on now. These images in Tyros, Vega, Moscow. So there's a lot of energy, a lot of stuff going on. This is an old video of Lavette, Saturn versus Jupiter. It really is a classic. A lot of people who follow me are not up to date on any of Lavette's work. So you can read what I write here. But very important that people understand, that there are no evil planets. So yesterday I was very sensitive, and now I know why. That Christmas tree is the nervous system. They are bringing up their fire king, sacrificing the deer, the moon goddess. And, the more one loves a mistress, the more one is ready to hate her. François de la Rochefoucauld. Pay attention who is creating the sim, mistress, tapissier, tapestry, upholster. The dragon is her, the milk the way. Honey is him, beauty, well, the feminine axis is the milk and the honey, but he is rising himself when beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So trying to get that beholder, 13, bringing in their ophucus. The Milky Way is your spine supple, the mistress is she who has authority over her, his inner dragon snake. That is the most powerful gateway, the jellyfish diaphragm. It's a diaphragm JFK cut, framed cut or eternal passage through choice. Pay attention to those who would claim her as his mistress, taking her fertility. She is the weaver, the seamstress. A woman who sews, especially one who earns her living by sewing. Mistress, a woman in position of authority or control. She's the school teacher. She's the Capricorn, high cardinal earth. She is always mistress of the situation, coolly self-possessed. A woman other than the man's wife having a sexual relationship with a married man. So they turned the true word of a mistress into the whore of Babylon again. So I was feeling sensitive yesterday. More attacks from these people who are attacking me, putting nasty things about me onto other people's channels. Goodness knows not their writing, because I just get rid of it straight away. I don't even look at it. But it's not for nothing. Yesterday was the 8th of the 12th, so the Medusa goes from 12 to 8. And that is COP26, copper blood, RH negative line, killing her. So that was the big attack, and the Christmas tree was yesterday as well. So somebody posted that, and then I just saw this tonight. So I'm going to finish with this. I'll just show you the pictures, and I'll show you that we're going to go and have a look at the chart. So let's begin looking at the chart of that Christmas tree. So yesterday at 12:15 in the morning, the 8th of December, we have got Saturn conjunct to the moon. Let's have a look. So the moon conjunct to Saturn. What phase moon was it? Right. So don't forget, the moon has got 13 phases, and they're trying to bring up the 13 as him as the beholder of Fucus, the 13th sign, when only the moon has got 13 phases. So the eclipse, the black moon eclipse in Scorpio was on the 4th. And then 4 days later, after the black moon, we've got the waxing crescent exactly here, right conjunct to Saturn. So, you know, this is really the ruthless energy without having merged that fishtail. Either you find that isolated power, or it's bringing up that ruthless. That's what they would like, to you know, the Capricorn, without having made it through from the material energy to the spiritual energy. She is ruthless. So let's have a look at the charts. So we've got this conjunction of Saturn and the moon. You know, people born with that, men born with Saturn moon conjunct, it really is an inability, a real problem with the mother, feminine energy, not able to express your emotions. You know, you can keep it very superficial, but to break through that Saturn, that denial, to not have had that motherly love, making a square to Uranus, still retrograde in Aries, fire, Ra. So it was actually in the 8th house. And we've got Pluto and Venus conjunct before Venus goes on the 12th. So on the next phase of the moon, the 8 phases of the moon, 13 moons per year. But on the 12th, for the next phase of the moon, we're going to have the beginning of Venus going retrograde. So she was Venus, where's noon key? Here's noon key here. So there's noon key there, but Pluto is bang conjunct. Here's Pluto, and we're under this Altair. So we're, you know, this is bit setting off the Phoenix. This is, you see, mainstream astrology. They think the sun is here, but this Phoenix has to. So we've got the sun in the constellation of Ophiuchus with Mercury. So Jupiter works with Mercury, and we've got Jupiter just still in Capricorn in full, just about to make it back into Aquarius. So, you know, it really is the lineup now for Venus's retrogrades. We've got Mars conjunct, goodness gracious, it's here, it says it's just entered Scorpio, but it hasn't. Mars is still in Libra, but very close, it's going to come through in on, I think I said it's on the 15th. Let's see. Yep, just on the 15th, he's going to enter just after Venus starts going retrogrades. There she goes. Yep, so we know I'll be covering this step by step. But for now, we go back to the fire. So Mars making right conjunct to the tail in Scorpio. So even if he's still in Libra, he's still conjunct. And this is very much, this is what we've got to merge. This is the tribe of Dana. This is really rising that eagle. Scorpio becomes an eagle again to carry the scales, the snake. Or we're rising the tribes, and this is what they want, that fire. And, you know, in France, we've got the famous Johnny Hallyday that died in 2017. This is his most favorite song, Light the Fire. And Hallyday, he's called, which is Odyssey 2001. It's Howl. So all the fires in North America began just after he died in 2017. I've covered a lot of that. I have my old videos and my blogs. Well, not my videos because I hadn't begun the videos then, but my blogs at the time. So, you know, he represents a whole generation of French people that they want to get rid of. So first of all, they're going to push all those French people to have their revolution, and then they will be wiping them all out to bring Asia in. Don't forget, he and his wife adopted 2 Asian girls. So there's always that connection. They bring in the new energy, and very funny, you know, he really is our rock and roll hero. And oops, we don't want to have any sound. But if you see, you know, they've got, it really is horrific. You know, this is their fake Altair Phoenix and his fires, and he's all the black leather. And they've got a big Omicron flying around. Look at this. Goodness gracious. Look at this. Right. So, in French, Christmas tree is a sapin. So, her pin, the needle, is the fir tree. So, fire, fir, fire, X, mass, tree, abracadabra, the tree in French. Sapin is an anagram for Spain. The rain in Sapin, Spain, sappers, pompiers, fireman. Pain in French, you don't say dida, you say pimpon. So that's a play on the pont. It's the bridge. It's also the peacock. The pimpon is the peacock. Sagittarius, 9th door, stays mainly on the plane. Europe, Akka, the true twin peaks, is Capricorn, Earth, NA, North America, and SA, South America. Air goes from lunar, European control to solar Asian control. The Who, 5-0, the hidden hand takeover to get her. Kill Bill, Nanny Goat, Peak. So Pique de Midi, the pick means the needle prick, the pin. MC Orion, Jack, the Joker, takes the number 10, MC Solar Door. 8/12 was the date. COP26, 8-wheel goes from 12 to 8. News today. News came out on the 9th of the 12th. That's Jude Pete 12 and Jude Paul 9. The flip-flop from Pete, Pierre, Pisces, water to Paul, Sagittarius, fire to rise, Jack's jolly green, Ophiuchus, bean 13, beanstalk. I fell, Eiffel Tower, I fell, I cut trees, forest, pine trees, third eye down. Go away, Isis. Par means to leave, to go away. Paris is the new human harvesting energy, smart cities. Linky, LinkedIn, smart meters. In France, smart meters is Linky, LinkedIn. 8/12, COP26, 8 meter, fire and ice. A man was arrested on Wednesday, Mercury, Mercredi, and charged with setting fire to a how wow I. The Who, 5-0, hidden hand rises. 50-foot tall artificial Christmas tree. So there's the 5-0. Outside the Fox News. So Fox is the Fox and the Crow, Jupiter and Capricorn. The Fox is Jupiter. Headquarters in New York City, prompting a race to extinguish the blaze in the early morning hours. So all this is to set off their, so we've got Craigslist, Tar, Man, Aha, around 12:15 a.m. So he was very much an indigenous, I can never say it, character. So this is really bringing in, you know, there is going to be this, this is what they want. They want, we're coming back to the gangsters, we're coming back to the gangsters, we're coming back. It should be a natural process that but they killed all the Indians, they killed all North America, they killed the true air Indians, and they're going to bring in their gangsters, which is not the true wisdom of that North America Indians, you know. So the pictures, it's the human nervous system. This is the Christmas tree. That's the fire. It's the human nervous system. So Venus is about to go retrograde in in Sagittarius. So you see Sagittarius, Sagittarius rules the senses through the nerves. Aquarius is the circulation, eliminative process. Pisces is the lymphatic system. And we've got Uranus in Aries, the brain, and we've got Venus going retrograde in Sagittarius, the nerves. So Pierre, Paul, Jacques, Peter, Paul, and the Joker risen in the middle as Ophiuchus. There are no forests left in the world. They're going to give us this new green world, permaculture, growing food, but we need the trees, we need the forests. So this was on the front page today in France, saying that the whole of France has been installed with Linkies. And that's a reason, you know, I have fought very hard not to have one, but every single home that's directed energy weapons work with that. It's controlling our nervous system. So there's the Joker, the tree, dry Christmas tree, watered Christmas tree. So you need to keep your lymphatic system really clean. This is not a time to be jibbity-jabbering. This is what we should be doing with that fire rising. So this is their new energy. That's just the human body. It's just built. That is that is our nervous system. So Doctor Who, jump to the left, a jump to the right, and the Who in the middle. There's nuts. So in French, sapin, sapeur, pompier. That's the name of pompiers, sapin, sapeur. There is your Saint-Hubert, Saint-Martin, AC/DC. The volts, so, you know, it could be now with this Venus retrograde that we're going to be flipped. So it really is the war. We've spoken about these two from, you know, this is the AC/DC flip-flop. Alternating current, direct current merges, and they are prematurely merging that current. So the yellow, the red, again, always Asia and America. And there's your V for Vendetta. This is all the strikes in France, the sapeur-pompier, red, yellow. And he's got his moustache upwards. So this is the last, Chiron's last, the last sword in the stone, the mutable cross. And there he is in his red and yellow, Saint Martin killing the snake. So that's why those attacks were done on me again. It's always done on a date. There's Ophiuchus. And these are the sapins, the first pompiers in France with their axe. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what a mortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer, what the chain, in what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp, dare its deadly terrors clasp? When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what a mortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry. So he's out full force, that tiger. This is not the correct eye. Well, you've got to get through the fear. But this passage, well, you know, I suppose we are going through this Sagittarius, Pluto still in Sagittarius, but the true gateway to that higher is the 12th door V. So there's the PP always, and the pimpon in French. Okay, darlings, I just wanted to catch up so that I'm not too far behind. So much has happened since that eclipse, and you see it's all playing out. So sending loads of love from my cozy home, Punky Floyd, Honey and Nack. We send you lots of kisses, and hope you're all cozy and warm and keeping your fire alight within, because we sure don't have much sunshine at the moment. So just keep your fire lit, and I'll be back very soon. All my love. Bye.